Do you get tenders?
Yeah, so we do get a couple of tenders.
He's got a Gucci puffer on. So
If I see someone driving a G-Wagon, I'm always like, oh, hey.
There's what we are seeing lately called the construction mafia.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you guys navigate yourselves around that?
They come in by force. When you get the tender document, you actually make a disclaimer.
Declaration.
A declaration, yes, that's the word. You make a declaration to say, this is the percentage that I'm going to give to you. You can apply for tenders all you want. It's not up to you whether you get them.
Welcome back to the Load Shed Podcast. It's your boys Chaka and Josh. It's so interesting that as the episodes get more and more, we get more energetic and introducing people. Today we've got Thobani Ndlovu, the Maino,
The one and only.
jack of all trades.
Master of many.
We're talking architecture. We're talking construction.
TED
We're
talker.
talking TED Talks. TEDx Durban.
Wow.
We're talking author.
Right.
Yes. We're talking man's a runner. This is why he has no time for the ladies. He's focused.
Focused.
So
5 a.m.
focused.
club.
Bro, welcome on the show.
Thank you.
How's it going?
I'm very good, man. I'm very good.
Lovely. What's been happening lately in your life, bro? Give us a little bit of a
just a
download.
scoop.
What have you been up to?
No, I've just been enjoying the running. Started running, I think, March, early this year. So I've been doing a lot of that.
What made you start running? Is it comrades? Everybody starts after comrades.
After comrades.
Or are you running from something? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
I'm chasing A.
Ah, I see. I see.
No, but it's more for the discipline, you know.
Yeah.
If you do something that's not easy to do, you gain quite a lot of discipline doing it. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying the challenge.
Okay, with all the things we've mentioned here, architecture, construction, TEDx, what came first?
Sure. Architecture came first.
Okay.
And then TEDx.
Architecture, can you get a job? Like in South
architect.
Africa? Yeah, but what I mean is with architecture, it's graphic design and designing of stuff.
Buildings, yeah.
And buildings, but I'm sure it's saturated, no? I don't know, I'm asking.
So there's a difference between a draftsman and an architect. And I think that's something that most people aren't aware of.
Okay.
So for draftsmen, I think you could argue that the market is saturated. That's where you get people on Facebook posting plans and saying that they can draw plans for people. That market, one can argue, is saturated. But then when you get to architects, that's like a more detailed and intense sort of architecture work. So that is not really saturated.
Okay.
Because, if you look at estates and how many estates are coming up,
Yes.
architects are working on those developments. So there's always an opportunity to get some work.
Let's talk about quickly estates and how they're growing.
Yeah.
Even I know up here, up by Hilton, there's some big stuff happening there. That's number one. If you go down to Umhloti, there's also some big stuff happening up north.
Yeah.
Who can afford all of this in this economy? Who are these oaks?
You know, if I see someone driving a G-Wagon, I'm always like, oh,
My goodness.
there's something that you're doing, you know,
Yeah.
because I feel like we're all struggling to make ends meet with the current economy. But there's actually quite a number of people that can afford it. I mean, we don't ask our clients what they do or how they get their money.
Yeah.
But there's actually quite a few. But at our office, a lot of our clients are return work. So maybe one guy can have even 6 homes, you know?
Jeez.
So, I don't know who can afford it, but there's definitely a market for it.
Because it's the strangest thing. Sorry, Josh.
No, it's fine.
It's the strangest thing because you look at the news and the news will say, hey, inflation's up, interest rates are high. And then you go outside, there's a development happening. It's what's the place next to the Pearls? Oceans Mall.
Oceans, yeah.
All of a sudden, Oceans Mall is now
Yeah.
up. You're like, oh, but now what's
What's
happening?
going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. Talking about G-Wagons, I know this other cat.
He's
I
on
know
the
this.
cars.
I know this other cat. Actually, you're saying that when you see someone with G-Wagon, you're like, yo, how much
Yeah.
you making?
You're not financing the G-Wagon for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a fight.
Yeah.
That's
You-
a
you're
I can
not.
afford it.
Yes,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy, I had a conversation with him before he purchased it, and his biggest conflict was whether he wanted a white one or a black one.
Wow. Wow.
He didn't know which one he wanted. So I was
Wow.
like,
First
dude,
world
the
problems.
black one is
It's proper.
proper. He was like, yeah, he knows, but it scratches it scratches easily, so he prefers the white, but he just can't make his mind up. See the guy in 2 weeks.
Don't tell me he bought 2.
He said he couldn't make his mind up, so he just got both.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my
That's a guy. That's a guy from KZN as well.
Yeah,
he got
dude.
both, bro. And I've seen them both.
Those blue ones are nice. Those dark blue
Yeah,
ones.
those are nice.
dope.
But
Yeah.
imagine not being able to make up your mind, bro.
So
And then you just get 2.
Bro, I don't even do
People
that when
can't
I go
even get
shopping
one.
to Woolies when they have 2 chickens for the price of one. I'm like, bro, I can just take one. It's
there's
fine.
corruption in
Please.
the option there. That's
Please.
for
You
sure.
know,
That's for sure.
But there's a lot of money in KZN.
There is.
Like people often
Yeah,
overlook
yeah.
KZN.
There's actually opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
big
yeah.
opportunity, there's big scope. And if you look at the sort of schools in KZN as well,
Yeah.
it goes to show you that there's a market. Not
Yeah.
all of them are from Joburg or Cape Town.
Yeah.
There's a big amount that are actually from KZN.
KZN,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's
So
That's true.
we've got a strong footprint in
Yeah.
the economy, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got the harbors here,
Yeah.
you know?
That's huge.
That's
Richards
huge.
Bay.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's in the transport game from KZN as well, logistics,
Yeah.
they're flying.
That's a
you know?
booming market.
That's a
see.
booming market.
Okay, fair enough. So we need to just take ourselves out of the people who are struggling and place ourselves somewhere where the guys are actually making the money in this tough economy.
Yeah. Legally.
You know? Yeah, legally, obviously. Talking about estates as well. There was this thing I saw, because we always talk about property, you know. Do we buy or do you build? Now, what are the pros and the cons of buying and building?
So spaces actually affect everything. Like how you live on a day-to-day and interact with spaces. It plays a role in how you experience life.
Okay.
Right? So most people, when they buy, they actually buy something as much as you like it, but it may not be 100% what you would have wanted to experience on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
So that's the disadvantage of buying something that's already built, you know?
Yes, because it's not your own.
Exactly.
Right.
You haven't designed it from scratch. Building, there's always, so building is fine because you get to do something that you want from the get-go. However, when it comes to that, sometimes there's expenses that you didn't plan for. For example, once they start building, all of a sudden there's a rock. And then they have to blast the rock. So the expenses of that site can shoot up quite high, you know? So there's always sometimes unforeseen circumstances when it comes to building. And people always say you can never go wrong with property, and I beg to differ, you know? Some people have gone horribly wrong with property. And I always say that when you get to a point where you want to get into property, it's always nice to have an architect on your side, because if you're going to make a purchase, especially of land or even a house, an architect can actually check for you how you can get to develop that property. you know?
Really?
There's people who've bought land only to realize that they actually can't build anything on the land, you know?
My word. Imagine.
So getting an architect once you have the land doesn't help you, because you've already made a purchase, you know?
So what is the architect?
Please just pause. Let me just tell these.
So on my thought with regards to that, when you've got the architecture is not what we think it is. Well, what I think it is, which is he just draws the plan and he's A for away. You telling me he's looking underground, he's checking, hey, is there water supply? Really?
Not really. Well, not physically, but yes. So there's systems and programs that we use that tell us what's going on, you know?
Wow.
So, like, for example, there's a client that came to the office last week. He's bought actually it's a she. So she's bought a property. and she now wants to extend and build a house for her son, an outbuilding. But where she wants to put it, there's actually municipal services going underneath, and that's where the previous owner told her she could actually build what she wants to build.
No.
So she was so angry.
She must have been livid.
Yeah.
Yo.
So there's quite a lot of that goes on.
It's like town planning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What if you've got a cool estate, right? Okay, a Zimbali.
Yeah.
There's vacant land in Zimbali. It's going for 1.2 million rand.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I can't afford a house in Zimbali.
Yeah.
But I can afford this land.
Yeah.
Can you buy the land and chillax and wait for the demand to go up and then you sell it again?
So with estates, there's quite a number of hidden costs, Like, for example, there's estate fees.
Okay.
So you buy the plots, and remember, rates are higher for a vacant site
Why? Because you're not using it.
because they want you to build.
Oh.
Otherwise, people would just buy plots and sit on them,
Yes.
So the municipality wants people to build on vacant land so that it can activate the spaces. So you're still paying quite hefty fees, even if you're sitting on a vacant plot. So especially at an estate. So I'm not sure if I'd advise if it's because of financial issues. I'd rather you just go and buy somewhere else, not in an estate.
Damn. And last question on architecture. Sorry, I'm very interested here. What's the story of needing municipal approval to extend or do something in your own home?
Yeah.
Why?
The municipality has a responsibility to make sure that every place keeps the standard. So each and every site has regulations that are basically guiding or regulating that site. So the municipality has that responsibility. That's why if you want to do something on the site, you have to approach them and tell them, this is what I want to do through a plan. And then they approve it, or they tell you, no, you can't do this. You need to change it this way so that it complies with the standard of the area. Because think about it. Say you buy a plot for 5 million rands at a very nice neighborhood, and then your neighbor starts building something that will affect the value of your property negatively, So
What could they build that could negatively affect you?
It's like they make, let's say you're living in
shacks.
They build shacks.
Shacks for rental.
Yeah. They make like a little Orabi village.
Yeah, within their site.
Yeah.
That will negative, like someone comes to view your house and they see that and they're like, oh no.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So the municipality plays that intermediating sort of role to make sure that the standard is kept.
I wanted to put a carport and they said no. Just a carport. We built one anyway.
Most people actually do.
Just a carport.
Yeah.
It's a carport.
But now I think the reason for that is, imagine, because some people actually put up like quite a number of carports all around the yard. And it
why?
And it starts not looking nice, So it might be because of that, or it could be it was on a building line. So the space between you and your neighbor is actually shared space.
I would like our municipality to please come to our area before they start telling me about my house and my standards. They need to look at my road that leads into the area and how that area is getting infested with student housing. That is my message to the municipality. Goodness gracious.
That is honestly one of the worst things ever, bro. Because I've seen like homes that are in a nice area near the varsity as well.
Yeah.
That have just become a nightmare to live in. Because I remember I used to go to somebody for like extra maths lessons, around the area. And there was student housing next door to this guy's house. It's a nightmare, bro.
It's crazy.
The kids are just screaming.
It's crazy.
You'd swear that it's high school kids, bro.
But you're a student. You're having a jaw. It makes sense.
Yeah, you can't blame the student.
It makes sense. But we need to stop them from living in those areas where there are families.
Yeah, they
kids,
shouldn't be in a residential.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should be
Residential.
on university property. They need to move them across.
Or university must extend their property. But anyway, that's...
Universities don't have accommodation. But what they're trying to do now is they're trying to zone all the houses within 100-meter radius from universities as student accommodation.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys can start building nicely there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're trying to encourage that. So even private owners, if you own a plot that's within 100-meter radius, I think, or a kilometer radius of a university, then you can do student accommodation.
Wow. Okay, that's nice. So then we went into architecture and construction.
Yeah.
Those are two different things now.
Yeah.
So now you started in architecture, then you went into construction.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So what normally happens is you design something and it's like music. You get attached to your design. You love it. You want it to come out the way that you've designed it. But most of the time, if a client takes someone else to go and build, that person wants to take shortcuts to make a profit, and then the design doesn't come out the way that you want. So that's how most architecture companies end up, becoming development companies, where construction now is part of what they do.
I see.
So it's almost a natural progression of things.
And it's like it's down the supply line.
Yeah.
You're basically vertically integrating yourself
100%.
there. And now you're saying, now we're going to design it, we're also going to build it.
Yeah.
In construction, there's what we are seeing lately called the construction mafia.
Yeah.
What is it? How do you guys navigate yourselves around that? Because sometimes they come through, while you guys are building, they say, hold up, we need 30% here. What's the story? We saw it in the news just recently about it. What happens then?
Yeah. I love the fact that you mentioned the 30% because I feel that how it started, it's actually something that was supposed to be a good thing, to empower the communities. Because if a project comes into a community, if it's built by people that aren't from the community and they leave you with the product, sometimes the community doesn't engage very well with the product, or with the building. But if they were involved in the building of it, and that's what the government actually realized, that the projects need to empower the community as well, So then they came up with the 30% thing, that if, especially government projects, if you come into a neighborhood and you're building something, 30% needs to go to the community, but it needs to go through a subcontract sort of arrangement. So for example, you're building something, and then you give the windows or the tiling or the painting to someone from the community, but a maximum of 30%. Okay. But what's happened is, because you have the contract and the obligation to finish the project and they don't.
Yes.
You want the project to get finished, but when they get some payments, they actually don't continue with the project or with what they were supposed to do. So that's what normally happens. I think that's how the mafia thing started,
Okay.
So people would want the 30% and then they just don't want to do anything. They just want to take the 30% without actually doing work in the project.
Oh, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
So then why don't you just pay them when they're finished?
They don't want to do anything.
And they come in by force. So when you get a contract, you actually tell when you get the tender document, you actually make a disclaimer.
Declaration.
A declaration. Yes, that's the word. You make a declaration to say, this is the percentage that I'm going to give to the community. Okay. And you can state that this is the work that they're going to do.
Okay.
But people actually come into the project armed,
really
telling you this is what we want to do on the project.
And then what, bro?
And then they stop the project because they're armed. For example, in Durban, there's a listed company that walked away from quite a huge project because people wanted, imagine 30% of a 1 billion rand project.
Jesus. That's big money, bro.
That is huge money.
Million?
I think so. Yes,
that's huge money,
Yeah.
And people want that. But if you look at the scale of the project, you can't just give someone 30% of a 1 billion rand project. That's a huge scale,
And what is it? What are you guys gonna do with this 30%?
You don't trust that they're actually gonna do the job.
So they walked away.
Yeah, they were like, no way, we can't work under these conditions, and to protect their staff as well.
It must be like a car manufacturer, I think.
I don't know.
Must be. Or a beverage company.
They were building, I think it was some rentals. So in Durban, there's quite a number of these, Westgate Grange.
Yes, Grange, Maritzburg.
Those flats there.
Yes.
In Durban, there's quite a number of those. I think they were building something very similar to that.
1 billion.
And they walked away from that.
Wow. And are you're involved in, do you get tenders?
Yeah, so we do get a couple of tenders.
Yes.
But so here's my thing with tenders.
Yeah.
When people think tenders, they think, tenderpreneurs, it's a very negative
we
sort of
we're thinking fat
connotation.
cats. Yeah, that's what we think. We're thinking Porsches. What do you think? You know when COVID hit and that guy had the Porsches and all of that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
As soon as I hear a tender, that's the first
that's
thing
what
that
you
comes
think.
to my mind.
And you
Yeah.
stereotype, like you've got a picture.
Unfortunately,
You've got a
yes.
guy in Gucci. You've got a
won't
guy in
lie.
Gucci.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I also have that stereotype. Like I
Yes.
think of that. If I hear, I'm in the tender business. I
Then
think
you're
of
like,
that.
you're in the tender business, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is? Yeah. Tell us about
But
it.
if you think about it, Bidvest is in they tender as well,
Okay.
So in fact, there's actually projects because Bidvest I think takes public tenders. They play a role in that. However, there's also actually private tendering processes. Like there's private projects where we've had to tender for them and we've actually won them and we've executed. So tenders aren't the issue. It's the people that are the issue, and especially with like government work, I feel that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes people don't complete projects because of how many people you have to pay.
Sure.
Even if you got the tender fairly,
Yeah. There's still
now you have to pay the person that has to make the payment to you.
it's called school fees.
Exactly.
Got to pay your school fees.
Exactly.
Really?
It's tough.
Otherwise, you don't
hectic.
get
So
your
how much do
payments.
you make then?
Because
Because at the end of the day, you've got to incur those costs.
But
Yeah.
that's why sometimes the money is ridiculous when they pull out the tender. That's why sometimes a sack of oranges will cost you 500 rand, for example.
Meanwhile, it's
because
30.
100 rand needs to go to this person, 100 rand needs to go to. How do we regulate that? How does it get better, bro? Because it's good that the government offers it.
Yeah,
It's good that there's opportunities, but it's hard when you got to pay school fees here, you got to pay school fees there, you got to pay school fees there. Then you do the job, and then
And
sometimes
then
you
you
walk
don't have the
away from the
money.
project, and it's a 15 million rand Eastern Cape stadium that's just got bricks and long
see that?
grass.
The bridge.
The bridge. You see.
Have you seen that bridge, bro?
Exactly, bro. So before we go there, tell us for guys who are listening who
Yeah.
really want to legally
Yeah.
get involved in tenders in government.
Yeah.
What is the process? What is the actual right process?
Yeah. So it's basically just registering a company, going for workshops on the documentation. So when it comes to tenders, the documentation is the most important thing. Making sure that you have the right documents, you qualify. But I always say that you need to play in the private space. I mean, because that's the easiest place to start.
Give us an example.
You can
Like,
apply
what
for
is it?
tenders all you want. It's not up to you whether you get them. But I can ask you, if I know that you want to build something, I can ask you, can you just give me a chance, And then that's how I can get into the construction space.
see.
And then I'm building my profile so that when I go for tenders, I have a track record.
I see.
And then I'm actually a more appealing person to get the
Is it
tender.
a point system then?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you deliver the tender, you do a
Exactly.
good job,
Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So then you become the more likely candidate to
to
get,
get
the
the
next one.
tender. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yes, okay.
But sometimes that's not how it works.
Yeah, because if you go and build a bridge,
Yeah.
how do you continue? Where's the continuity with
Yeah.
the business after that? Is there continuity, or it's just a one-hit wonder? We're going, we're going to apply, and then we out. Is that what the strategy is?
Yeah. Some people use tenders as like, I get in, I get a big project, and then I'm out. However, there's a grading system. I'm not sure if you've heard of like grade 1, GP.
No.
So construction companies are graded based on the value of the projects that you do, So for example, I think from like grade 6, that's where you start getting like really reputable. Yeah.
Big dogs. The big
This
dogs.
is the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So that's how I'll say, shut out
Yeah.
the small players. You know, like there'll be a tender and they'll say, no, this is just for grade 9 companies.
Yo, grade 9s only. You grade 7s, get out of here.
Whoa.
So then you know that, you know, I don't qualify.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some people are happy to play in
But you can subcontract from those guys at grade 9, surely.
Yeah, you can. And you can get your grade up by doing that. Yeah.
All right. What grade is your business in?
Matric. Matric, bro. Grade 12.
I'd rather not say.
Really? Okay.
Oh, bro.
It's
Just he's got a Gucci puffer on.
Just now I'm found being part of a grade 9 deal, and then people are like, oh, but this
but
guy
on
said
the
they grade
podcast,
6.
You didn't even choose subjects, bro. What do you think?
that is cool. And then after construction,
Yeah.
what did you move on to?
So construction is fairly recent. You know, as I mentioned, it's part of, you know, just the growth of the business.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But typically I went into architecture in varsity. Then when I was done, couldn't get work. I volunteered at an NPO.
I just told you couldn't get work in architecture. I just told you.
He told you.
Yeah.
But if you told him a
also,
few years ago, it would have helped.
Yeah.
Now he
okay.
studied it.
But also,
Okay.
I also feel like this whole thing of not getting work, it's relative, you know, like people, it's like business. Someone will come and ask, what's the best business to get into? And you can give them an answer, but that's your answer, you know.
True.
And the people around you, you know.
Okay.
So even with work, there's lots of architects that I know that got work straight out of varsity. you know.
I see. Okay.
So I couldn't get work. I
NPO.
volunteer at an NPO. And then I start interacting. So we were doing a feeding scheme every Sunday. And I start interacting with like people that we were feeding, the homeless. And then that led me to writing a book, which was called Leading Through the Mirror. And it was based on my experiences with the homeless at the feeding scheme. Because I realized that they're actually smart. Like, I mean, they know difference basically. But I think the only difference is they don't lead themselves towards something, you know. They're very easy to influence, especially by people around them. So they'll get together, you know, agree that this is what we're going to do. And then that's what everyone is going to do. So no one is like, no, I'm not doing that because this is what I want, you know. So then I write the book based on personal leadership, which was called Leading Through the Mirror. And then that's how I start looking into things like TED Talks, and that's how I get into TED Talks.
And your book, was it an ebook?
I do have
Print
an ebook,
copy?
but it was hard copies.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. So is it distributed through?
Yeah, so I was distributing it because
Okay.
it was self-published.
Okay. And how did that do?
It was okay. It's hard having a self-published
Yeah,
book
yeah.
because obviously you don't have all the resources.
Yeah.
But I think it did quite well.
Dude, it's interesting that, you know, because a lot of people could have gone a different way, a
Yeah.
different path.
Yeah.
You studied this difficult degree.
Yeah.
We don't even know the story of how you got into it.
Yeah.
But let's just say you studied it, you finished it. You can imagine how many people finish a degree, they don't get the job, and they're despondent.
Yeah.
You know, you went and helped out at a feeding scheme. You know, so you gave
Yeah.
your time.
Yeah.
Because I was about to ask you where did you get the time to do that,
Yeah.
and then you still wrote a book. So you went and helped out at a feeding scheme, and that actually kind of led you to writing a book,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
then led you somewhere else. And what I'm taking from that, for my personal self, is that, you know, you creating your own path, no matter what the situation
Yeah.
kind of is, you know.
100%.
And I think the next time I'm in a bit of a pickle,
Yeah.
I'm also gonna maybe look to give,
Yeah.
like how you did, but maybe we should just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just give anyway, because it could lead to
Talking about
to greater
giving,
things.
I know it's a little bit off the topic, but with this feeding stuff and giving, One thing I really don't like about that is the documentation of feeding people
I hate
on
that.
social media
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
documentation
I hate that.
of giving people money on social media.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
want to do it, in my honest opinion, I think you need to just give it to someone discreetly because it's between you and God, basically.
Yeah.
This whole story of record me giving this person,
Yeah.
I don't get it. Because firstly, it's giving humiliation because
Yeah.
now this person's looking vulnerable
Yes.
on, and now you're trying to make yourself this superior
And do
person.
you always see the pictures? Those people are always facing down
Because they're
embarrassed.
Bro, like some people, most people who are homeless once weren't homeless.
100%.
They came from a good family.
Yeah.
They had a good job. Their luck ran out or whatever it was, and they lost
Yeah.
a car, they lost a home, they lost a partner, they lost a family member, and they spiraled out of, but they
Yeah.
were once probably an affluent person. And now you're going to degrade me by saying, oh, I'm helping the homeless. Obviously, those people are going to be like, yo, I don't want to be
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
in case someone recognizes
Yeah.
me. We're all human beings at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't, that for me personally,
Yes.
what is your say on that? Do you?
So I 100% agree with
Yeah.
you. What I do want to, I just want to remix it a little
Remix.
bit by just saying maybe there is a way to do documentation in
Yeah.
a way that inspires people to also help.
Sure.
So, for example, okay, you don't see the people, but let's say you are an influencer person. You say, guys, today this is what I'm going to do. I think you guys should do it too.
There we go.
You know,
Yeah.
That's
you
what
don't
I'm
have to
saying.
see. You don't have to
Exactly.
see it.
The faces.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
But
The people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. But you should say, this is what I'm doing. I think everybody should be doing it.
Get involved.
Let's go and let's get involved and
Yeah.
let's do it.
100%.
Instead of saying, hey, check this, ma.
Yeah.
There's 100 rand, ma. There's, you know what I mean?
Those are the ones I
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of people on socials who have done like charity feeding schemes and things that they've documented, which is fine
Yeah.
because they're like, thank you to this corporate, this
Yes,
corporate,
yes.
this corporate for hopping along longboard, and they like pass it down. It creates awareness. But I'm talking about, you know which one I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I know
that
which one you're
One where they're like, yo, bro, hold my hand here. Here's a McDonald's quickly. You know what I mean? Have you seen? You know those ones, bro.
I know those.
Those are
Yeah.
just humiliating, bro. Because
Yeah.
then that's not for the good of the community. It's rather of
Yeah,
I want to
true.
make people
Yeah.
like me more
Yeah.
because I'm doing it.
True.
Yeah.
And yeah, so back to you, man. The way that you've done it that
Yeah.
like that
Proper.
is cool. Are you allowed to tell us what the feeding scheme was called?
It was called Legacy Creators.
Legacy
so,
Creators,
So
nice.
what used to happen was while we were feeding them, we used to have like talks basically. So we'd engage with them, ask them about their backgrounds, how we could help them. A lot of them didn't have IDs, so we'd take them to home affairs, assist them to get IDs and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
When you chat about homeless people and you say that often many of them are very smart,
Yeah.
we've experienced that firsthand because we do this street cast thing
Oh,
on our other
I've seen.
page called SA Live, right? And we'd go out to the public and ask them questions.
Yeah.
And we'd ask like gents that look like all of us here, like
Yeah.
varsity guys, questions, and they would fail dismally.
Yeah.
And we had this one guy, I don't know if you remember in Scottsville, he was a homeless guy working as a car guard situation.
Yes, I see him. I see him.
see him? You
Yeah,
see
he
him? You
was he
remember
was smart, yeah.
And he was brilliant.
yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah,
yes.
exactly. But I mean, his answers he gave, we didn't put everything, but his knowledge was
Yeah.
far greater than a varsity student. So when you say
There's
a home,
many of those.
there's
guys.
so many.
Yeah.
There's also another guy in Joburg. I'm sure you guys have seen him on social media. I've just forgotten. his
Bongani.
name. Bongani.
Yeah.
Have you heard the way that guy articulates himself
yes,
and how
that guy.
expressive he is?
That guy.
You know what I mean? He's also homeless. So homeless
Yeah.
people are also human beings. Bro.
True.
They are human beings.
Yes.
And they are, you should respect them
Yeah.
and give them the same value. And we often don't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how degrading do you think it might be to put yourself in the shoes of a beggar, right?
Yeah.
Walking on a robot, going to someone and asking for money, and then having to bring yourself down to such a level where you have to go dig in trash, bro. That takes...
Yeah.
That's another level of humanity
Yeah.
that none of us in this room have experienced, and I can
Yeah.
only imagine how hard that is. Like digging through someone's leftovers and trash to find something to eat. So yeah, there's a big divide.
But we're not. What makes it difficult sometimes is we think we can help. We think we can't help everybody.
Yeah.
By that I mean the reason why I'm not helping you is because I couldn't help this person and this person. I can't save the world.
Yeah.
But actually, we just need to do one person at a time. I think. That's where it comes through. Interesting. Then the TED Talks. Tell us about that. Everybody thinks a TED Talk is a long lecture. Sometimes I used to watch them before podcasts.
Yeah.
You know that TED Talks before podcasts, and some guys would have some seriously cool advice. Once again, it was more American that we used to watch.
Yeah.
But tell us how you got into that. Well, it's from the book.
Yeah.
But it must be difficult to sorry. Gus is busy barking outside, guys. Just
can
one
I
second.
just go close?
Our
Can
dog
I
is barking
Sorry,
outside.
guys, that's my dog. That's my dog. I'm just gonna
one
go
second.
put him down quickly. I mean, down,
No.
down. Put him down the house, not down.
We back. We are back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, we had to put Gus away, but we're all good now. We were talking about TEDx,
Oh yeah.
so we moved onto TEDx. Tell us about that journey. How's it been going?
Yeah.
How did we get into TEDx?
Yeah.
And especially, I want to know, because I saw you on another podcast where you say that you train the speakers before they speak.
Yes.
How do you guys? What's going on there? I thought the speakers already like they're professional speakers.
Yeah. So that's one of the misconceptions. People think we go for the best speakers, but we actually don't. We go for the best content.
Okay.
So sometimes we have like a call out to say, if you have an idea that you want to share, then reach out and then let's see if we actually are happy to get the idea out there. So it's the content first, then the speaker.
Okay.
So we're actually not too interested on who the speaker is, what their profile is. We're just interested more on the topic and what the person wants to say to our audience, you know?
Okay.
So that's why the training then becomes important, because if you're not by nature or by training a speaker, then we have to take you through some sort of training. So we've partnered with an organization called Missing Link. Okay. They are like international, but they are based in Pretoria. So they train our speakers. It's actually
How do you train
a speaker.
a speaker though?
Yeah, like because we that would be a cool
For us.
skill to have.
I
for
need that,
us.
bro.
Yeah, for
I need to
us.
be trained.
100%. Like
Yeah.
so what
How do I minimize these bad thoughts, bro?
yeah. So one of our speakers, 2019, I think, is a pastor as well, you know? So they went through the training and then they were like, actually, I need to go back for round 2, you know, because I realized that the training that I got there actually could help me with my sermons every Sunday.
Increase
And
the
then
tides.
they went to increase the tides.
Did you just say what I think you said? Increase the tides.
And then they go back there.
Have you seen that TD Jack? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake! Have you seen that?
I've seen that.
I just thought of that when you said
Hey, there's lots of TD Jake memes.
DD Jakes, bro.
I would say the
like-
one that I'm thinking of.
Which one is it? I don't know.
I don't know, but the one I know is the wake up one where he's like, and the meme says, when you went to bed at 3 a.m. and you set an alarm for 6 a.m., how your alarm be acting? Wake up! Wake up! Wake.
The one that I'm thinking of is, have you ever been swallowed?
You gotta share that one with me, bro. I want to see
I haven't
that.
seen that one, man. That
I
sounds
wanna see
hilarious.
that.
What is it?
I'll send it to you
No.
guys.
Please
gotta send it to me.
please,
Yo.
please. Okay, so pastor went and
Yeah,
worked
so
on
they
this-
go
he got
back.
training. Yeah,
They
he got
go
his
back
training.
for the training. And then he literally called me. He was like, I've realized that people are way more attentive now.
Yeah.
The
Now
way-
that I'm implementing what I learned, you know? So there's an art. There's an art to speaking.
It's a skill, bro.
It
What
is.
What would you say if I had to say what are the 3 most important things about public speaking?
Yeah. Probably the most key one is knowing what's important and what's not.
Okay.
Most people, especially if like you're an expert in something,
Yeah.
you tend to want to overshare information.
Yeah.
And some information is actually not that important for the audience, you know? You might know very critical details and technical details. We don't want to know that, you know? you must know what message you want the audience to walk away with.
Sure.
And then whatever you share on that stage must be a supporting sort of item
Sure.
to the core message that you want us to walk away with. Anything else is not important, you know? So I think it's just about how much of your content was important for us to know.
Yeah.
If you're able, you know, to do that sort of sifting, then you're on the right track. Then introduction is very important. If you lose us with the introduction, then it becomes, you have to work way harder to get us back in, you know?
Really?
So what must the intro be? Bold? What must it be like?
Maybe it's like a statement or a
punchy,
question.
catchy.
Yes.
Normally it's
yeah.
a question.
Yeah. So questions
Like
were-
those poetry nights. Like one of those intros.
No,
Oh.
I don't think so.
The man was known.
No.
One of those.
No.
No.
It's
Oh,
more like,
no. Oh.
are you home alone? There's the power.
That's one.
That's powerful right there.
That's a rhetorical question. Rhetorical.
So it's got to be.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
then
good
then
one.
you have the audience.
Then you have everyone's like,
That's the introduction. Yeah.
or how many of you have cheated on your spouse?
Oh my
Everybody's
goodness.
like, damn.
Oh my goodness. You see, that gets you up.
yeah.
All right. And the third?
So intro,
Yeah.
the actual content, and then this one I think is the most difficult.
Yeah.
Your voice actually having character, you know, because
I have a problem with that
yeah,
Go on.
because I've seen it a lot in South Africa,
yeah,
right? People associate accent with intelligence. That's why I have a problem with
Yeah,
that.
that's
because there's a lot of guys that I know
yeah,
that are from the farm, right?
Yeah.
Because I work with a lot
Yeah,
of them. And they obviously can't articulate themselves well in English.
yeah,
And often there's a sense of, okay, these guys are not smart.
Yeah.
Because they don't speak very, how can I say it, Western?
yeah.
Don't have a Western accent,
Yeah.
almost, you know? So that one there, I struggle with because now you're coming to a space, just because I'm speaking English, I obviously can't, my
Yeah.
data bundle doesn't allow me to speak English, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you lose that, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I mean when I say your voice must have character is I struggle with this.
Okay.
That I'm almost like monotone.
Oh.
If you monotone, you can lose the audience easy.
Sure.
Then you depend on content. But if your voice has character, like you can have high pitch, low pitch,
inflections and low.
and if you're comfortable enough to actually have silences,
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
can actually have a brilliant talk.
Wow.
It's so to your point though.
Yeah.
Let's say you do. It is the perception, bro. The people they'll hear you speaking. Oh, you speak so well, but
Yeah.
dude, you know, I'm just. This is me.
This is me,
yeah.
The next person who has an Afrikaans accent, like a strong one or whatever, doesn't make them any different, right? But then I would say then they have to work harder in points 1 and 2.
Yes.
Intro
Yeah, yeah,
and content because of what the perception is about them.
So what do you guys do if somebody wants to do a TED talk?
You
And
trial
you know
them.
the accent. Hey,
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna work here. What
so,
occurs there?
So I've mentioned that our key focus is content.
Yeah.
And then we work on the actual presentation with them. So we'll sit in and listen to someone presenting their talk. Accent is not really important. But I think we haven't really had someone that will struggle with accents. But we're wanting to get into that space because I mean, what's gonna tell people that we're from South Africa, we're from Durban,
Yeah.
if we don't have a talk that's in Zulu, you know?
True.
So we're working on something along those lines.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, it's interesting. I lost my train of thought. With what was I going to say now? Because it was important. Podcasts.
Yeah.
Podcasts. We could make our podcasts better by learning those 3 things.
Yeah.
and going
Yeah.
and understanding our content,
Yeah.
our intro,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I
It
like
actually
it.
could help.
Intro,
Yeah.
character,
Voice
character.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why it's not
content.
content. Yeah. Content.
Yeah, but I mean, public speaking is an art. There's a video I'm gonna send to you. The TED Talk. We make all our speakers listen to that video.
Okay.
That the title of it, I think, is Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
So that guy is basically talking about nothing, but
I think I've seen that.
He's showing people how you can grab people's attention
By talking about nothing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
And what he uses is he uses the high pitch, low pitch, pauses in the right areas.
Yeah.
You know, even so communication is even, you know, physical. So even the posture, you know, that plays a part in how you grab someone's attention.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So that guy just works on, he ticks all the boxes with that, but he's got no content.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Moving on to that with the link to the power of conversations.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah.
Power of conversations. I saw that you also friends with an amazing conversation strategist. Is that the word?
Yeah.
It's a lady. I forgot her name. What is it?
Conversation
Nosy.
strategist.
She's a conversation. We have to get her on.
Is that a
bro.
career?
We have to get her on. Yeah.
What is that?
She's a conversation strategist. But tell us about the power of
So
conversations.
she came up with the term.
Yeah, I can
Did
see
she?
it, bro.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
manufactured here in KZN,
Bro, listen
I've
to
never
this,
heard of
though.
it.
She's actually from PMP.
Listen to this. Listen to
She's
this.
one of us.
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah, but she's global. She's doing very well.
Yeah. She was too busy to respond to my emails, bro. That's when you know. You
Yeah.
know?
But
I think my
basi-
email went straight to junk, but we'll talk about it later.
basically, what I've learned with being part of, you know, the whole TEDx Durban or TEDx organization is the power of conversations. Before that, I think I didn't understand how powerful conversations are, you know, because sometimes we just have a conversation and we go our separate ways and that's it.
Can I pause you right there?
Yeah.
This is golden for you, my friend. This is golden. Because if there's somebody who loves conversations,
Yeah.
here he is.
Yeah.
In public places, please.
Bro.
We're gonna keep quiet for the next few minutes
Yeah.
while you explain this.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Use both those ears.
I'm listening.
Let's go.
Both ears. Let me come closer.
So I didn't understand how powerful conversations were until a few years into TEDx Durban. Because then I started to see that, no, man, my perspective on life has completely changed. And when I look back and try to think of a point where it actually changed, I can't find it. But it's through conversations that I was having with people, you know? So the people that I was starting to engage who were coming to TEDx events were people that were way more successful. So initially the conversations used to be a bit uncomfortable because obviously you if you're in a room with like way more successful people, you start looking at yourself like, am I even supposed to be here, you know? So initially that's how I felt. Then I started thinking, you know, these conversations are very interesting conversations to have. How these people think is very different to how I think. Then I started engaging in the conversations. Then I realized that my perspective was changing, you know? For example, people who are in business and are very successful, most of them diversify. So most of them aren't in one business. But you'll get that people that are professionals prefer to stick to one thing, right? So I had that mindset for a very long time.
What, professional?
Not really professional, but like you have to specialize in something.
Okay.
And then if you don't, then you don't really know what you're doing, you know? But then I realized that if you look at people like a Patrice Motsepe, they're involved in many things, but it doesn't mean that they don't know what they're doing, you know? But why are they involved in many things? It's because they don't fear failure, you know? Because a lot of us fear jumping into the next thing because we don't know if we're going to succeed or not, you know? So I realized that the common thing amongst them is the fact that their relationship with failure is different to someone else. You know, it's almost like sports. You know, your team can lose, but then the next week, you know, you can support them again because you're hopeful. that they're gonna succeed.
Hey, Man United.
It depends.
Hey, Man United.
It depends.
That's just-
Unless if you support Man United.
It depends.
both of us on the side of the
If you're
couch, bro.
listening,
Oh, both of you Man United supporters.
if you guys are listening, work harder.
Honestly. You can't be
Rashford,
earning 300k a
work
week and not
harder.
being able to tap in.
We are buying data to stream your games.
Please.
Work harder, United.
both of you guys need to make better decisions.
Please.
Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Man
Really.
United.
Bro,
work
but we've
harder.
been supporting.
Yeah.
We've been with them.
It's an emotional
years.
turmoil.
It's actually not a nice topic. I really don't want to talk about. I'm not ready.
I want to say though,
Yeah.
that's why you're so good at what you do.
Thank you.
You know, you are.
Thank you.
You
He's flirting.
No, honestly, the way you navigate conversations with different people, that's why you're good at what you do.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah.
Just touching on that, I also want to give you flowers. You're also very good. This guy's also
Yeah.
very good at. He's really good at navigating the conversation because
Yeah.
Chaka
Yeah.
knows when to engage and when
when
to
not.
end.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's an important
That's
skill.
something I can't do because I could meet you and I would have a conversation with you for an
Forever.
hour, and I'd meet him and I'd have a conversation for
Yeah.
an hour. Chaka will come and he'll say, "Cool, okay, nice to meet you." What do you? And then you realize, okay, this is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
something that's going to interest him. So he'll politely end it. I can't do that.
Yeah.
To those that I do politely end it, I don't know what he's talking about.
No, but Dan, I bet you've seen it. Chaka knows where put his energy.
Yeah.
Oh,
He knows where to put it on. He's got a very mature thinking cap
Yeah.
when it comes to look. I need to pick this brain more.
Yeah.
And that brain's underpicked. I don't need that one. but he knows how to do it, bro.
Yeah.
Like me, I just be picking any brain, bro.
Which is not good.
Not good, bro.
So for us to also have that kind of shift, not necessarily, sometimes doesn't have to be a shift in mindset,
Yeah.
but that kind of perspective and experiencing those perspectives, we do need to also have conversations with people that are not way above us, but who we see at a higher level. It will help us.
It will.
It will help us.
will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agree.
You know, so through conversations and realizing the power of conversations, I also got to understand and appreciate perspective,
Yeah.
you know, and how all of us have different perspectives, but we all feel like our perspective is right.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's the most important.
Yeah, it's the most
Yeah.
important perspective.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So I feel like I've grown so much from the conversations that I've had with you, with everyone that I interact with at our events, you know. So and it can only happen through conversations, you know.
My dad always says listening is a skill that only the wealthy master.
Oof,
Hey,
that's true.
hey, that's powerful.
Yeah,
eh?
that's
because the ability to listen and absorb
yeah,
can be a game changer.
it is.
That's why they say God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
I hate this. This guy, and you look at me like he's talking to me. Like it's my fault that God gave me 2 of these and 1 of these.
That's why he gave you 2 of these and 1 of these for a reason. Because you gotta use these.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
but
he
it's
gave
true,
you 2
bro.
of these as well. For
Yeah.
breath. And yeah. So absolutely. I agree, man. Power of conversations. You know.
Power of conversations.
Is there a strategy that is there a method that you take when you have conversations with successful people? How would you have a conversation with a Vusi Tembugwayo? Viti. What's up, bro? No.
Chaka, tell me what you do. Let's pull it in. Let's try and understand. Let's try and move it. The economy. You try and sell this product to me. Sell it to me.
No, VT's not
Sell
like
me
that,
that.
bro.
Sell me that.
VT ain't like that, surely.
No, bro, have you not seen some of these things when he has that board there? He's like, right, you sitting right there.
Those are his master classes. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
I'm just imitating a masterclass. That's what I was there.
you check him at an event.
Yeah.
What do you say now? What do you say?
Have you guys ever met Vusi Tembugwayo?
No, but hey, if you, bro,
Oh, wait.
What up?
Let me tell you. I had a encounter with Vusi though.
there we go. Power of conversation.
I'm in the DMs there situation.
yeah.
But it started with Vusi, eh?
Yeah.
Because July Unrest, they burnt our company down.
Oh yeah.
And I I just posted about it. And Vusi sent me a message, bro.
No joke.
Swear to God, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why I respect him so much as a businessman, because I'm a nobody that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he said something amazing, bro. He was like, I know the rebuild will be better than it ever was. All the best.
Amen.
Sure.
That's all he said, bro. But why did he even say? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
you didn't have to say
Vusi.
that. Yeah.
I'm just a young guy, bro. He commented. And since then, I slid into the DMs. I said, hey, thank you so much for the message. I would like to keep in contact. Send me his email. Yeah.
My man. The networker. The networker.
Shake and bake, dog.
Flipping out.
So when it comes to like networking or engaging, I don't like pressure. So with anything, I don't like pressure or putting pressure on myself.
Yeah.
So I never try to go in and this is what I'm going to do, you know. If the conversation flows, it flows. So I greet and then wherever, you know. But that's also why I think it's important to have quite a number of topics that you know or are aware of.
Sure.
So you get some people that aren't really interested in current affairs. And I judge those people because then how are you going to make conversation with other people, you know? How are you going to network? When people are talking about something, you have no contribution, you know? So for me, it's basically that. I think it's just being not really up to date with current affairs, but, you know, have multiple interests. That will help you to start conversations with different people.
Interesting.
So, the ability to have a conversation, you need to master it. Does it change the dating game for you as a man?
What are they calling it? Riz.
Yeah.
Is it Riz.
Hey, does it give you some riz?
Riz is a totally different thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
I
Sorry,
think-
married.
So, conversation, I'm just saying, does it give you that confidence? Because as guys often, like, it's hard to approach
Yeah.
a female randomly, you know, because
Yeah.
it can go two ways. Creep,
Yeah.
nice guy,
Yeah.
you know. That it's a very thin line to draw between the two, you know.
Yeah.
Does that the ability to have a powerful conversation impact the what can I call it? The socializing element rather than the dating, the socializing? Does it affect it in any way?
So I think I have an issue when people speak to me. For some reason, they feel like it needs to be a serious conversation. So that just bores me, you know.
So they don't be asking about your favorite color anymore. And things like that. No.
They'll ask like, "So what's your opinion on like the current political landscape?
Which stocks are you
you know,
listing?" You're like,
okay.
I'm like, oh, come on, man. I have those conversations way too much, you know. So I enjoy more chilled conversations. But yeah, Riz is something. It's something else.
So how would you like I've read you this whole interview. How would you like for a female to approach you?
To approach me,
Yeah.
I would prefer they don't approach me.
Really?
For me to approach them.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
But
He's a strong man.
He's a strong man. I'm independent. Don't come here. Hey, turn around. Hey.
However,
Okay, wait. I've got a thought.
sure.
You carry on. Just carry on. But I want to talk about this just now.
Okay.
Running clubs. Carry
Okay.
on.
Yo. That's why I joined.
But
That's why he joined. That's why he joined. That's why he's running.
but when the conversation started,
yeah.
I also get put off if like the person can't really hold a good conversation, you know. If all they want to talk about is like social media stuff, and that just puts me off. So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But if a person can like hold a good quality conversation, that's always
Always key.
Power of conversations. So that's why you joined the running club.
We understand.
because it's social.
Yes.
And-
They apparently, even in the Western Cape,
Yeah.
the running clubs are now becoming an area for single people to meet other single people.
They're calling it Rinda.
Rinda.
Tinder for runners.
Oi.
You just made that up now.
You just make that up. You know, we're making things up here.
It's very good.
This is our town.
Is it working?
The Rinda.
Yeah, by the time this podcast is out, you're probably going to have someone in your life
wait,
anyway.
Admit, okay, I don't mean to disrespect anyone at all when I say what I'm about to
Just
say.
before you disrespect
Before I
anyone.
disrespect you guys, I'm just gonna do a disclosure. But the way some people run is very off-putting, bro. Bro, you be seeing these, bro. You're telling me
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
I also get it.
But
I
you
also
know what I
get it.
mean?
But that's how you know it's a great runner. You know, if
Yeah.
the running is like, then you know that this
The
is a runner.
greatest runner I've ever met in my life
Yeah.
was the guy who robbed me in Rosebank, Johannesburg, chicken licken. Brother, I told you the story.
You told it on the podcast.
I'll tell it again for the sake of it, since there's more of you listening now, bro. I got mugged
Yeah.
after I ordered 12 hot wings, lick and loaf,
Yeah.
chips. Cool. I'm waiting in that. There's a guy in front of me who's just ordered. I remember this guy clear as day, bro. He was lanky. He looked like he was a midfielder. You know what I mean? One of those bulls.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, number 6. This guy ordered before me, and he parks. He stands to the left, takes his slip. I'm ordering next. 12 wings, chips, lick and loaf. SnapScan was new back then. Remember SnapScan?
Yeah.
I was like, cool. My mate's like, let me pay. I'm like, bro, relax. I just went. As I went,
Gone.
lanky midfielder said, wah. Starts running. I'm like, I'm gonna catch this guy. Boss, bro. I was in my prime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 22 years old. You know, I'm gonna catch you, bruv. I don't care who you are. Man leaves the chicken licken door, shoots through the window. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm coming. My mate's right here. We here. Bro, the guy was, I always say like a meter away.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, yo, should I ankle tap him?
Yeah.
Or should I just
Yeah.
catch up to him, grab him?
And he just nosed.
Brother, the man started going, yeah.
Gone.
The noises in sync with the movements. Brother,
Gone in 60
here,
seconds.
here. iPhone no more. Goodbye.
If they're making noises,
The
then
noise.
aye.
The noise. Once you hear the noise, you must know, my man. You don't have the facilities for this big man.
go, bro.
Give me your phone.
So is it working then?
Is it working?
So you judging them with the noise and the running
The
style.
technique.
But that's a conversation in itself, Josh. You'll be like, hey, damn, hey, girl, where'd you learn that running style from, man?
Yo.
You know what I mean? You know, I don't know how you guys do it these days.
But
Have you seen some of those people run with their head?
Hey, that's when it's tough.
Hey,
eh?
that's
or,
what it's
or
tough.
some run with the arm like this.
You're digging deep now.
I haven't seen that one. What do you mean? What is that one?
You're digging deep now.
Have you seen this one?
I've never seen that. We clearly don't run enough.
Clearly.
Josh.
No, clearly.
Clearly not in the.
You know when you run so much and your arms are heavy, then you just wanna.
I've never seen
I've
that
never
in my
seen
life.
that.
You guys.
But it looks like the hand you liked did that and then you stopped liking it. Is that what happened?
No.
What shoes you running with? It's important.
Essex.
New Balance.
Woo!
Nice.
So I like New Balance ever since they sponsored Liverpool.
Oh, okay. So you're a Liverpool fan.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm a winner.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Nottingham Forest had said otherwise this weekend, but we leave it as that. But brilliance.
That's
You
cool, man.
you do a lot of great things, and
How do
it's
you have
very
the time to do all of this? Yeah.
Yes,
There
tell
we
us
go.
your day, your schedule.
Fingers in different pies.
Sure.
I will.
Sorry, that is the saying, right?
He is single, so he can have his finger. Chicken and mushroom, steak and kidney, pepper steak.
That's not
Cornish
what I meant,
pasty.
but I'm sure it's a lot of fingers in the pies. I don't know what the English guys will let me know.
Guys, I do
How do you have
apologize
time,
for
bro?
my guy.
So that's one of the toughest things, you know,
Time.
trying to get a balance, you know, balancing your time. But I believe that you find a way to do it. Obviously, no one's perfect. You know?
Sure.
Like there's always, sometimes you struggle way more than other times, but you do it, you know, and it's fulfilling. I think that's the most important thing. So I try.
You're not getting any younger, so just leave some time to find love, make a family, because family is important.
Very important. I agree with you.
Yeah, family is extremely important, my friend. So make some time for them too, because I mean, no matter what you do, you're going to be successful. We can all see that. You probably are already, but you're definitely going to be bigger than what you are now.
Yeah.
So just don't forget, you're gonna need a little bit of stability, and that stability comes with someone shouting at you in the morning for no reason. Okay. Sometimes shouting at you in the morning for no reason, and when you come home, shouting at you in the afternoon for no reason, but you love them anyway. Okay.
Wise
Solid
words from
advice.
Chaka.
And then
Wow.
you're gonna have a little one who's just gonna drive you nuts, but so rewarding at the same time. I mean, real tornado. Okay, I'm talking real tornado. But
His house, bro.
you love them anyway.
You step on Lego the moment you walk into this man's house. Bro.
That's a cool house.
but it's cool. You know what I mean? So don't forget that.
That's how I rolled my ankle, by the way. If any of you are watching,
No, you rolled your ankle playing paddle. Paddle. Last thing before we close, Tobs. What is your mission right now? And just tell us what mission are you on? And where it's all going.
Yeah. So I believe that my life's purpose is to create the best version for tomorrow. So when I'm designing spaces, I believe that my purpose is to create better versions of those spaces for people to experience life better in the physical form.
powerful.
Then, with the conversations that we curate with TEDx Durban, I believe that we are helping people to experience life better mentally. Because how you see life is how you experience it, you know? So that, I believe, is what I wake up and hope to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Do share with us when your next TEDx Durban talk is, because we'd like to be invited.
To have a TED talk.
No, not to
Yo,
talk.
next one I'm telling that crowd about other things, bro.
No, what would we speak about, bro? But anyway, we'd like to be invited
Sure.
to come and experience.
I'd like to experience one.
and just
that would be cool.
It would be so cool.
Yeah.
Let us know when it happens. I think you get invited, or do you buy tickets? You have to get tickets.
Yeah, there's tickets.
Okay,
The
so
speakers get invited.
Okay. Oh, geez. All right. So we will get tickets.
One day
all
we'll
right?
be a speaker.
Who's we?
We.
I'm scared.
Me
man.
and you are one.
Okay, fine. I'm
Simunye.
Simunye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. That was
Thank you so
amazing.
much for having me, guys.